everyone, this is Sheila Peters, and we're about to do a stretch body awareness class. Today we're going to start over to the edge of your mat, bringing your feet right underneath your hips, and we're just going to press through the feet and bend the knees and straight. And now rising up and down, trying to keep the shoulders right on top of the hips, and lift up and down. Two more. Bend and straighten. Lift up and down and bend and straighten. And lift up and down. Now we're going to push through the foot. So we're going to push the ball of foot, spring off, and then ball of foot and down. Other side. Ball, spring, ball, down, ball, spring, ball, down. Keep going. Ball, foot, up, ball of foot, down. We're going to take two more sets, complete sets from one side to the other. And ball, spring, ball, down. And you're still keeping the shoulders right over the hips. And down, and ball, spring, ball, and down. Now, hands on the knees as you stick your derriere out and just flatten that back. So we're getting into that hip joint. And back, and straighten. Two more. Back, and straighten. And back, and straighten. Let's bring our arms up, and we'll take the same thing. Back, we're not going into a full squat here yet. And up, and to the flat back, and up. Two more. And swing, and up. Good. And swing, and up. Let's go back down to that bent knee position, and hands are right above your knees there. We're going to work with that lower spine. If you need to widen that position with your feet, you can. So here we go. Curving that back up as the hips tilt under. So we're going into a cat. And then come back into that flat back. Repeat 3 more times. Cat. And then come back into that flat back. Keep breathing. Back, up, head goes down, engaging abdominals, and into that flat back. And once more. Back, press up. Good. And come back into the flat back. Let's now go in the opposite direction into a cow. So we're going to press through, arching the hips up and the head up and getting a curve in the lower back there. And come back to neutral. Repeat. Breathe and arch. Good. And come back to neutral. Let's take that 2 more times and arch. Good. And neutral. And last time. Arch, press, and neutral. Coming all the way up. Let's bring our arms up and just swing the arms to the back. Back and front. And back and front. Swing back and front. And back and front. As we do this, let's add the head so the chin is going down as the arms go behind. And now the chin is going to come up. And repeat. Chin down. And head up. And drop it down. And lift. And drop it down. And lift. Now we're going to bend our knees and let everything drop over from the hips. Bend. Swing back. And lift. Head comes up. Swing down. And swing up. 2 more. Swing down. And swing up. And repeat. Swing down. And swing up. From here, we're going to bend our knees, push our hips forward, allow the arms to go behind, and we have a little arch through that spine. So our arms are doing a circle. Bend, push through, arch, lift, and up. 2 more. Bend, push through, arch through that spine, and lift. Last time. Bend, push through, lift, up, and tall. Let's go back into that bent knee position. Our derriere is out. We're in one flat line there. And let's go back into the cats and cows, but do them from one to the other. So here we are. Lower back curves. Head goes down. And push through. And going into that arc in that lower spine, your cow. Repeat. Bringing the hips under, engaging the abdominals, getting that lower back to go to the ceiling. Push through, heads come up, and derriere goes up. 2 more. Roll through. So you're really working through that spine. Good. And push through and arc. And last time, roll through, push, lift, and come down and arc. Good. Continue neutral position all the way up. We're going to repeat everything that we've done so you can see how now with that spine, and we did some warm up, that it feels a little bit better. So again, if you need to realign those feet, we're going to take that bent knee position, shoulders right over the hips there, straighten and come up and down. And you might find the second time through that it's actually easier to maintain this position. Here we go. And bend and straight and lift up. Good. And down. Last time. Bend and straight and lift up and come down. Pushing through the foot, toes, knee lifts up and down. Push, lift, down, heel. 1, lift, foot, down, peel it off, lift, up. 2 more, and 1. Push with the toes, lift, down. Other side, up, toes, down. Last time, 1. Lift, good, and down, and 1. Lift, excellent. Good. Okay, once again, we're going to go into just a very shallow squat, keeping that back straight and up. So we're working through those hip flexors and the glutes. Good. And bend and stretch and bend and stretch. Let's add to this now. So we're going off the previous template. And we're going to bring our arms up and we're going to take a true squat, which means your hips are going to go way back behind your heels, and you're going lower and lift and squat and lift. Here we go. Back and lift and back. Take 4 more. Here we go. Out and lift and out and lift. Excellent. Out and lift and out and lift. From here, let's take those full swings. Bend the knees, drop the heads down and lift up and down and lift up and down and lift up. Once more, down and lift up. Let's take those circles with the arms as the hips go forward and we go into an arch. Pushing through with the hips, reaching to the back. You may find that you get a little farther back. Bend, push through, arc, lift, and up. 2 more. Bend, push through, arc, and lift. Last time. Bend, push through, lift, arc, and up. Good. Let's come to the center of the room, facing front, center of your mat. And let's just take some reaches through the arms and the ribs. So we're reaching up and lift. And your feet are in a parallel position. Under your hips. Reach and up and lift. And up diagonal out to the ceiling and the wall where they meet. Reach and out. Making the ribs do the work. Reach out and stretch and out to the side. So now we're making our ribs and our spine move side to side, whereas before we were just making the spine go front and back and out and reach and out. Let's take the down diagonal way out, making those ribs go out. Good. Reach. Make sure you're still breathing. And stretch and out. Good. And reach and out. Let's bring that right arm up. Take the left hand, clasp it onto the right wrist there. Bend the knees, inhale. Now as we straighten, we're going to shoot the arm over to the diagonal. So we're getting, again, a side stretch in the torso and opening up. Come back in. We're going to switch hands, bend the knees, and reach. Good. And repeat. Bend and stretch. And bend and reach. We've got 2 more sets each time, trying to go a little farther over, bending and reaching. You are breathing. So you're going to inhale and exhale on the effort. 1 more. Bend, inhale, and exhale, reach. Excellent. And bend, inhale, and exhale, and reach, bringing that whole thing up. Let's bend the knees, drop the hands down, heads go down, lift, and heads come up as you slightly arc your back. See if you can arc your chest, your heart to the ceiling. And bend, and lift up, and heart to the chest. Maybe lean back a little bit more. And drop over with the head, lift, arcing the upper body up and back. And last time, bend down, lift, up, and arc. Good, coming up right, excellent. All right, let's open the legs to a wider parallel position. We're gonna increase that side body stretch. So we're bending this knee over to the side, bringing the left arm over, crossing the right over to the side, and really leaning into that stretch, pressing out through the left foot and reaching over with the arm to this right side. Coming up, windmill over, bend, reach. Good, coming up, over, and reach. Repeat, up, over, and way out there. Heel down on this side, reaching the arm over. Now we're going to increase that by going up and over to our original position. We're going to straighten the leg, inhale, exhale, straighten the leg, and push the hips out to the side to increase that side body stretch. Here we go. Knee goes out over the toe again. Inhale and exhale. We've got two more. And bend, inhale. Really feeling that side body stretch increase. And we have one more. Bend, inhale. And exhale and reach. Good. Let's curve to the front above the waist and come to the other side. Wrapping the left arm over, right arm goes over to the side, and we bend into that left knee. From here, inhale. As we exhale, we're reaching that top arm over to the side more. Knee bends and goes out over the toe as you inhale. And exhale and reach. Good. Two more. Bend, inhale, exhale, and reach. Here's our last one. Here we go. Bend, inhale, good. Exhale, and reach. Good. Come back to the front, and let's roll up through the spine. Okay, at this point, we're going to take some twists. So we're going to take the left knee, bend it out over the toe again. Right hand goes behind the hips there in your back, and we're going to push across. So we're trying to be lower than our bosom, sort of in between the navel and the beginning of the rib cage there, in the center there. So we're twisting, hips stay front, and twist, and stretch. Repeat, twist, and reach, and twist, and reach. Excellent. Two more sets. Breathe, and up, and twist. And last time. Push it out, twist, and up, and twist. Good, coming up right. Let's bring the legs together, and again, put them underneath our hips. And let's take a little bit more arm work. So I'm going to reach the arm up, keep the hips front, reach that arm to the back, all the way around. And repeat, front, lift, up, and back. Keeping those hips up and feeling that twist as you go to the back. Good, and lift, up, twist to the back, other side, and lift, up, keeping those hips front, reaching to the back, good, lift, up, twist, and reach to the back. Two more, lift, up, reach, and twist, and lift, up, reach, and twist. Let's bend our knees, holding on to the core, and we're going to reverse that. So to the right, we're keeping our hips front, reaching to the back, following the hand with the head, and down. Reach all the way back. Feel that opening that happens as you reach back, as you're maintaining the hips to the front. Reach up and around. Perfect. And reach to the back. Lift up. And let's take it to the other side. Here we go. You're breathing. Twist. Feel that reach back. Up and front. And twist. Reach up, around, and front. One, two more of these. Here we go. Up and front. And reach to the back, lift, up, and front. Now let's bring our arms up, straighten the legs, both arms up. Now we're going to twist and go into that position. We've just added this front arm, and our hands are flexed. And we're going to be twisting the shoulder front as we look to the front here. So then we open and look back with the shoulder and head. And twist to the front. So we're working more on that shoulder area. And back. Shoulder and head, front. Good. And to the back. And last time, roll it to the front. Excellent. And roll it to the back. Drop the arms down. Just notice for a moment how that side feels compared to the other side. And let's take it to the other side. Arms up. Twist, hips stay front. Torso twist. Hands are flexed. And we've got that reach way back there with that back arm. And now we have shoulder and head going to the front. And twist and reach to the back. Repeat. Over to the front. And twist to the back. 2 more. And over to the front. Excellent. And twist to the back. Reach it. And over to the front. Beautiful. And twist and go to the back. Good. Drop the arms down. Make sure that this all feels like it's even. And let's go back into that wide position and do a little work with those hips. So we're going to keep the legs straight. We're going to go front. And we're going to push around to the right. And then we're going to just go to the back. So you're letting your upper body counterbalance, and then we're going to reverse and come to the front, really pushing out and around. And we're going to repeat that 3 more times. So we're pushing out, stretching out through the hip. You may feel a stretch of the inside thigh to the back and around. Breathe. And to the front. 2 more. Reach it way out there. How far out can you get that hip? And to the back. Beautiful. And come around. And going to the front. You might feel like you've got a bigger range of motion on this 4th one. All the way around. Good. And around. Coming to the front. Good. Excellent. Coming up right. Just stand there and notice if this side feels a little bit different. It might feel like there's more ease through that hip. Let's take it to the other side. Pushing the hips front. Circling around to the left. So this first time is where you may feel some areas that need some work. And attention, coming around, push, and to the front. Beautiful. And all the way around. You might also find that one side feels different than the other one. Coming around. Good. And stretch. And circle. Coming back. And all the way to the back. And circling back around. Way out there. Hopefully you're feeling that it's increasing this range of motion. Here's our 4th one. All the way around. Beautiful. All the way to the back. Excellent. And come around. And coming to the front. Good. Come up right. Notice if you feel more even. Let's stand up and shake out through those legs a little bit. Okay, let's come back to the end of our mats. And we're going to go down all the way to the floor. But we're going to pass through the spine. So here we go. Chin, roll, all the way through. At some point, you feel the hitch into the hips. You can bend your knees here. And we're going to just push through and rock into our toes here with our hands supporting us. We're rocking back, feeling that lower back, get a little bit of a stretch. And then we're rocking forward, holding on to the abdominals. So our focus is really on the feet here. Trying to stretch out the feet. But you're going to find that your spine is getting some work. Your hips are getting some work. Here's our 3rd time. And come back. And reach. Good. And last time. Coming forward. Stretch it out. All the way through. Push a little bit so you can extend the stretch in the bottom of your feet. Good. And then let's come forward. And we're going to go into our hands and knees position. Let's go back into working with our spines. We're going to take the same pattern where we have just working into the cat initially. So our abdominals are engaged. Inhale, exhale, curving through that lower back, really stretching that lower back. Good. Come back to neutral position. Repeat. Inhale and then exhale, working into that lower back. And release. 2 more. Roll, push, lift up. And come back into your neutral position. And here's the 4th time using your breath. Here we go. Pushing that back up. Feeling the abdominals get engaged. And then come back to your neutral position. Once again, realign. And then we're going to push in the opposite direction. So hips are tilting up
And we've got the head coming up, and we feel that arc, the cow in that lower back.
Good. Come back to neutral, holding on to the abdominals. And
Push and lift, so you get that arc.
good. And come back to your neutral position. 2 more. And here we go.
Into that
Cow. And come back to your neutral position. And last time. Cow. Push it.
excellent.
And come back into your neutral position. Let's go back into child's pose just for a moment. Hands are down. Breathe. And then let's come back up again. And let's take the whole trip from cat to cow. So we'll start neutral. Shoulders are down. Elbows are slightly bent. And here we go. Deep breath in. Exhale, going into your cat. Really stretching out that whole lower spine. Push through. Arc. And into your cow. And rolling the hips so you can get that lower back to really engage. Abdominals are really engaged as well. And then push through. And 2 more sets. Roll, push, lift, up. And come through, push. And going into your cow. And last time, roll it, lift it, coming up. Good. And then push through, arc. And going into your cow. Good. Come to a neutral position. Let's once more go back into the child's pose. And we're going to start to use all of that. We're going to slide our hands forward as we go all the way forward. So from here, we're going into that cat, coming up, slide the hands forward a little bit, engaging the abdominals, and then you're going to push through the hips and go into an arc. So we're utilizing that cow position. From here, sticking the derriere out so you get that cow enhanced there, and then allow the body to undulate back. And you're going to find yourself with your hands coming into a child's pose. We've got 3 more of those. Lifting that lower back up as we shoot the hands forward, coming forward all the way, undulating through that spine, using our hands to help support us, and heads come up, hips go down. Repeat. So we're still in our cow here. All the way, we're going back and allowing this nice undulation to happen in the spine. Hands come down. We're into a child's pose. You might find you can sit more into this child's pose. 3rd time, rolling forward with the hands as you lift that back up, coming through, push, drop, and lift. Maybe you're a little higher up here. And again, moving the derriere back, you're still in cow. Allowing the hands to slide as you go back into your child's pose. Let everything settle for a moment. And here's our 4th time. Sliding the hands forward as the abdominals engage and the lower back comes up. Pushing through, going into your arc. And stretch. Shoulders are down, elbows are slightly bent. Still in cow with your hips back into the child's pose. Here we go. All the way down and rest. Good. Let's roll up. So we're squatting on our knees here. Let's just bring our hands behind us. If this is uncomfortable for you, find an alternative method to get a little bit of a lift in the hips into a bridge. So my fingers are facing my feet here, and my elbows are bent. Deep breath in. As we exhale, we're pushing those hips up and trying to arc. So we're making that spine go more towards the cow end, and then come down of that whole spine ripple. And breathe, push, lift, arc up as much as you can. Keep the knees going down. You may feel a stretch in the front of your quads, and come down. 2 more. Breathe in. Exhale, push, and lift up. Beautiful. And come back down. And we have 1 more. Here we go. Breath in. Exhale. Push the hips up, feeling that arc through that spine. Excellent. And come back down. And let's sit up. Excellent. So let's go all the way down on the floor. And we're going to take a little work with our legs. So you can take your back hand and rest your chin on the back of that hand there.
take your right hand or your front arm and test if there's space right under the hip joint there. We're going to try and press through and stretch that hip flexor ligament a little bit more deeply. So hand comes out, grab a hold of that foot. Now, if you cannot reach that foot, you could grab a hold of your clothing maybe, but we're going to assume if you're taking this class that you probably can grab this foot. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to pull the hand, lifting the foot higher, and press that hip joint into the floor. So you're really trying to feel the bone of the hip go into the floor. Good. And release. Let that leg come down, and then just check with that hand and see if that hip got a little bit farther to the floor. Okay, let's switch. So you've got the front arm supporting that chin. Back arm is going to grab a hold of that foot or your clothing, however it works for you. And here we go. Deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to press that hip down. You're pulling with that hand, and the foot is also pulling against the hand. So you're getting a little bow in the spine, but you're really pressing that hip down. Excellent. And then release. And then once again, check to see that that hip did go down on the floor. Hopefully both of them did. All right, so from here, let's bring our hands a little bit down below our shoulders, and we're going to curl those toes under, and let's push up into a down dog. Now, you may want to find yourself moving more on the mat if you got off the mat there. And so just pressing the heels down, sticking the derriere up. So we're getting a hamstring stretch here. Really feeling the length that's happening in the legs, but also the spine. And we're going to bend just the front knee and push the back heel down. So we're increasing the stretch on the back heel. And then switch and press. And switch and press. Good. Keep going. Switch and press. And switch and press. Let's take both together so we have lift up. Press the heels down and lift up, and press the heels down. Lift it up. Press the heels down. Good. And lift it up and press the heels down. Now we're going to try and walk our feet up to our hands, in between our hands. Might have to do a little adjustment. And then drop right from that hip flexor area, the one that we just stretched out. So here's a deeper stretch in that hamstring. Make sure the weight is now on the balls of the feet more than on the heels. Drop that head, shake it no, and shake it yes. Repeat, shake it no, and shake it yes. Excellent. Let's take our hands and put them behind the ankle, and we're going to take some bends and straighten. So bending the knees, feeling the crease in the hip, and then straighten, trying to pull with your hands so your heads go towards those legs to increase the stretch. Again, bend, inhale. Exhale, and stretch. Two more. Inhale as you bend. Exhale, and stretch. And once more. Inhale. And exhale. And stretch. Putting hands down, let's bring our hands to the outside of that front leg, keeping the hips straight. And we're going to let our bodies drop down towards that front knee, which will increase the stretch in many different places. And then walk the hands around to the other side. You may feel this in your lower back as well as the hamstrings. Take a deep breath in. And exhale and bring that head towards the back knee. Really enjoying what is opening up at this point. Shaking the head out. Shake the shoulders so you're not holding tension there. And let's come back to the front, repeating that. Hands, deep breath in. Exhale, head goes towards that front leg. And then walking the hands to the other side. You may find you've really increased your stretch here. Deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the head towards the back leg. Good. Come back to the center.
hang. Let's put our hands out. You might be off the mat there. And let's just rock our weight forward so we're getting our weight more onto the balls of our feet. And then push back. This is kind of like a squat in terms of the positioning of the hips being behind the heels there, but increases the stretch in the hamstring. Rocking forward. And push back. Press those hips back. Feel the spine lengthening as well as the legs. And 2 more. Rock it forward. Inhale. And exhale. And push it back. And last time. Rocking it forward. Inhale. And exhale. And pushing it back. How far back can your heels go? Good. Coming back to a neutral position. Hands down. Let's just bend our knees and come into a squat. And see if your arms can lift and you can just gently sit. Good. Okay. Good work. Let's come back to facing the front now that we're sitting down. And let's bring our legs up and have the knees and the feet glued together. Hands behind. Let the elbows be a little bit loose. Try not to let the shoulders come up, right? And let's just rock over to the side. Knees are glued, up and over. Good. And lift and over. And lift and over. Let's take 2 more. Up and over. And lift and over. Last time. Lift and over and up and over. Let's stay on this side. So now we've got this sort of twist. Usually we're making the hips stay facing front and our upper body is moving. But this time we have the upper body staying front and our hips twisting. And we're going to take some circles with the hips. So our feet are pointed. We're going to bring this top leg in. Now we're going to open the leg out, feeling the stretch on the inside thigh. And then we're going to stretch that leg out in the rotated position and then roll through the hips so we can come parallel and bring it in. Let's take that again. Lift, up, open it out, stretch it out, roll it, and come in. 2 more. Lift it up. So we're making this big circle through that hip joint and reach it out. Roll it over and in. Try not to let the shoulders come up to the ears. Around and reach it out. Stretch it. Roll that hip and come in. Let's come up, bring those knees together and go to the other side. Again, set yourself up so that you can really feel the upper body staying more or less where it is. Elbows are slightly bent. Bring that knee up. Open it out. Feel that initial stretch in the inside thigh. Good. Stretch it out on that diagonal. Roll the hip and come in. And yes, even though we're trying to maintain a position with our torso facing front, you're going to find that you're going to be having little adjustments in that spine because the legs are attached to the hips and that's attached to your spine. Up and around. Stretch it out. Good. Roll it. Coming in, and once more, lift it up, turn it out, really feel that opening, good, stretch it out, roll it, and come in. Excellent. Come up to an upright position, and just notice as you rock side to side how those hips feel. We're going to go back in to this position, coming up, knees and feet glued. We come to that first side, your left side, and we're going to reverse the whole thing. So we're reaching that leg out, on that diagonal, we'll rotate it at the hip. We'll lift the knee in, feeling that stretch, coming into the chest, and then letting it come down to the other knee. Stretch it out, roll it, returning to an rotated out position, side, coming up and in. Reach it out, roll that hip, lift that knee out, good, up and around. And stretch it out, roll it, lift the knee up, keeping that rotated position, coming into the chest and down. Good. Glue the feet and knees there, come up and over, adjust yourself so you have a good strong position. Here we go, stretching that leg out. Turn it out at the hip. Lift that knee up to increase the stretch, bring the knee to the chest, coming across and fold. Stretch it out. Rotate it at the hip, lift the knee up, good, crossing it over, coming into your glued knee position. And 2 more, stretch it out, rotate, good, knee, Coming in, cross it over and down. Last time. Reach out. Opening through that hip. Good. Knee comes up, knee to the chest, coming across and knee down. Good. Coming upright and sit. Getting the divine flesh out from underneath you. Let's open the legs out a little bit and let's just take some footwork. So we have flex, push through the balls of feet and point. Flex, push through and point. Flex, push through and point. And flex, push through and point. Now using your hands behind you, I want you to rotate at the hips. Let's take a couple of rotations in and out. So your hips are rotated out, your feet are rotated out, and now rotate in. So it's just deepening the work that we just did. Open and in, and open it out, and in, excellent, and open it out, and in. Let's go back to the rotated out position and see if we can sit up tall. Our feet are pointed, we've got the divine flesh out, and we're in this rotation, and let's take that same work with the feet. So we have flex, push through the balls of feet and point, and flex, push through and point, excellent, flex, push through and point, and flex, push through and point, excellent. Let's make the legs go into a parallel position and bend the knees up so you're in this sort of halfway to your full extension out there with the legs. And we're going to just move the hips from one side to the other in the 99-degree position. So here we go. We're dropping over and feeling that hip lift. You might have some space underneath here. And then using your abdominals and the legs, lift the legs up to your first position and go to the other side. Each time you come to the side, try to really press a little bit through that hip. We're not doing a super press, but you're trying to keep the spine straight. And come up and shift. You may find that you're moving forward as you go in from one side to the other. So you come off the mat. Let's take that a couple more times and work through those hips. Lift up, over, and get that spine straight. And we have one more. Coming up. Good. And shift. And I'm getting completely off this mat. And shift. Good. All right. Come back and then let's shoot that. And just beat those legs out. You might have felt more torque in those hips than before. And so way back. So we're going to use those positions and see if we can add something to it. So back straight, divine flesh out from underneath, and we're dropping over to the side. Now from here, I want you to push your hips up and feel the stretch on the back knee here. Back hip, sorry. And come down. Let's take that again. And push up through the hips, feeling that stretch. Good. And come down. Two more. And lift up. Press. And come down. And lift up. And press. Good. And come down. Coming back to your first position. Again, let's stretch those legs out. Beat out through the thighs. You may really feel like you've worked this left hip, the back hip. And you have. So let's come back to a position where you have your weight back on that mat there. Coming back into this, divine flesh is out. We're going to take it to the other side. So here we are. We're on this side. And we're going to push up and feel that stretch through this hip. Good. And come down. And push, lift, and up. And come down. Two more. And push and lift. Way up through that hip. Good. And come down. And let's take that once more. And push. And lift up. Good. And come down. Coming back to your neutral position. Shake those legs out. Beautiful. All right. So let's start combining the rotation and some of this hip work by extending the legs out to the side and to the front. So we're going to come to the edge of the mat here, sitting up tall, bringing the feet together. And here you have your open position. Flex the feet so you've got the heels touching, the toes away. And we're going to drive the heels out to the front along the floor in this rotated position. Push through the ball of feet and point. Toes come up and then flex. We're going to bring the knees out to the side. And now we're going to drive the heels out. So we're starting to get some inside thigh work there. Pushing through the balls of the feet, point, and toes come up and flex. Rotate the legs out. So you come to your original position. Pushing out to the front. Balls of feet and point. toes come up, flex, and come in. Drive them out to the side, sitting up tall. Balls of the feet and point. Toes come up and flex. Opening the thighs. Let's take it again. Push out. See how tall you can make your spine. Balls of the feet and point, and toes come up and flex. Bringing the legs in, knees go out to the side, driving those heels out as far to the side as you can get. Backs are straight, balls of the feet point. Toes come up, flex. Last time, really trying to feel the rotation in the hips there. As you go out, good. Balls of the feet and point, and toes come up, flex. Coming in, driving those heels out. Feel that stretch. Balls of the feet point, and toes come up and flex. Rotate out. Good. And come up and close and sit back. And let's just feel how those hips feel. Wiggle around through those hips a little bit. Excellent. All right, we're going to go out into a Y position once again. So find a way to get out to as wide as you can manage at this point while you still are maintaining the divine flesh out from underneath and your backs are straight. And let's take some rolls again through the hips, okay? So be kind to yourself. Use your hands to help you if you need to. Let's point those feet. Now we're going to roll this right hip over. Good. And up and back. Let's take it to the other side. So we're rolling the left hip up and over. We've done some stretching here before in this whole hip ligament, so this should feel pretty decent to do. And up and over. You might feel a stretch on a hamstring here. Lift and open. Up. Press it out. Maybe get a little farther, twisting over and up. Let's take that with a flexed foot. So we're going to roll, twist, and work that hip over and up and out. With the flexed foot, you might find as you go over that the leg that's in front of you gets a little bit more hamstring stretch. But we're still working through that hip there. And up and over, and we have one more in each direction. Roll it, twist it, press. Beautiful. And come back. And open, and last time. Roll it, twist it, and press. Nice. And come up and open. Let's bring the legs together, beat them out, just to ease off a bit. And then we're going to go back into that position and do a little bit more work on the inside thigh. So feet are pointed. Let's reach to the side, bringing this arm up and over. Feeling the opposite hip as the side we're going to, staying on the floor. Now let's take it so that we lift that hip off, which might feel a little strange at first to manipulate your hip like that, and then press the hip down and reach out to the opposite side as that hip that we're pressing down. Again, lift up, that hip comes up, inhale, exhale, and press it out. See if you can get a little farther over. Two more. Lift the hip up and off, inhale, exhale, and reach way out there. And last time, lift it up, breathe, and press it out. Let's curve our bodies over to the leg. So elbows are going down as far as they can towards the floor. Head goes down. Opposite hips on the floor. We're feeling a stretch over this right leg. Good. Come back to your rotated position here. Stretch it out. Flex that right foot and see if you can touch that toe to that right foot. You're still maintaining the hip down on that left side. Good. Push the foot through into a point and roll yourself upright. Okay, let's try it to the other side. Here we go. Slide. Reach this arm over. Good. Feel that nice stretch. We've got feet pointed. We're going to be lifting that right hip off the floor. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. As you press the hip down, you're trying to reach the arm farther over to the left side. Repeat. Lift that hip up. Inhale. Exhale and reach. Two more. Lift the hip off the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Push the hip down as you continue to reach over to the left side. And last time. Lift up. And exhale. And reach. Really pressing the hip down and reaching the arms in the opposite direction.
Good. Let's twist. So we've got our body twisting over to this now. Left leg, elbows are going down as far as they can. Shoulders are loose. And we're just going to take a little extra stretch here. Breathing. Keeping the opposite leg rotated out. And feet are still pointed. So really lengthening through this hamstring. And then twist and come back to your original position when your arm's out. You might feel like you're pretty far over. Let's take a flex on the left foot and see if we can touch those toes or beyond the toes onto the back of the toes there. And keeping the opposite hip on the floor. Excellent. Bring the hand down, roll up through the spine, relax that foot, and sit up tall. Seeing if you can maintain this position. If you need to, you can bring the legs in and shake them out a little bit. But if you can maintain this position, let's keep the feet pointed and let's take a forward fold. So we're rolling our heads down through that spine, reaching the hands out, walking the hands out. Maybe you can come to the elbow position that we were at when we were over just one leg. And then take a deep breath in. Exhale, reach the fingers out more if you can, and feel yourself folding from the hips there, the front of the hips, and see how much more you can open up the inside thigh. We have 3 more breaths. Deep breath in. Exhale, inch out. As always, if you want to put your head down on the floor, you can do that. I'm lifting my head up, hoping that I don't muffle my voice too much. We have 2 more. Deep breath in. Exhale, reach. You might be feeling your legs wiggling a little bit as you go through this. And last time, deep breath in, all the way out there. Try to feel length through the spine and out through the legs. You're sort of creating an upside down T shape here. Good. And now use your hands, roll up through the spine, coming to an upright position and restack all the way up. Beautiful. Let's bring the legs together and shake them out. And let's take a final stretch here. We're going to go down to the floor, so backs are straight. We're going to roll down through the floor, feeling that back, which we did so much work on at the beginning of class, going all the way to a straight position, and come to a lying down position. Let's just rock our hips side to side, just to ease ourselves into the floor. And then come to a pointed parallel position with the legs, bringing that front leg into the chest. So we're just taking a traditional hamstring stretch here, knee into the chest. And then taking a deep breath in as you grab a hold of the foot or some part of the lower leg and extend the leg up. So we're increasing that hamstring stretch. Bend the knee back down. Inhale. Exhale, extend, lift. Reaching the bottom leg down as you reach the top leg up. And maybe you can increase that stretch some. Here we go. We have 2 more of these. Bend in. And exhale and lengthen. Reach. Way up there. Good. And last time, bending that knee in. Inhale. Feet are pointed. Exhale. Stretch and reach out through that top leg as far as you can get. A lot of what we've done could help facilitate you getting a very deep stretch here. Let's take a flex foot on each feet. Here we go. Deep breath in, pressing out through the heels, and feel the heels reaching out to increase that hamstring stretch. Good. Point the feet, bend the knee in, and then slide that leg down. And once again, let's rock our hips side to side. You're going to notice that that leg that we just stretched feels a little different from the one that we have not. So let's come back to that parallel pointed position and bring that back leg in, hugging it into the chest while the front leg stays nice and straight, and it's your anchor leg. Taking a breath in as you grab a hold of that foot or the lower leg and extend that stretch for the first time. Really feeling what's happening in the hamstrings there. And then bend the knee in as you inhale. Exhale, extend. See if you can lengthen that stretch a little bit more, bringing that leg closer to the face. Bottom leg stays straight. Third one, breath in. Exhale, lengthen, reach, and stretch. Way out there. Good. And last time, bend the knee. Inhale. Exhale, lengthening out through that leg. See how far you can get that leg
up and over closer to your face. And then find a way to hold on and take a deep breath in, and then flex out through the heels. Feeling the feet, the heels work away in opposite directions to really increase that stretch. Good. Come through into a point, bend that knee in, and slide that leg back down again. Great. Okay, let's beat the thighs out. Come back, and let's do that foot drum exercise. So we're really rocking the body long ways forward and back. Good. And release that, and let's let the shake the hips side to side. And let's take a roll over to your side lie position. Knees are bent. Settle in there. Let's take a deep breath in. You might close your eyes. Exhale and try and allow everything to settle into the floor. Relaxing those muscles. One more deep breath in. Exhale. Great. Pushing up through the hip, you know that you're undulating up through your spine, so you're not shocking that spine after all the work that we did. And find a way to sit. Could be with the legs crossed, one leg in front of the other, to find flesh out from underneath. And just notice how your body feels. Hopefully you feel like you've grown a little taller, that things have lengthened out, and hopefully created space so that you have an ability to let your body breathe more deeply, have the chi in your body move more fully, and the blood and the lymph also work more fully. So have a good rest of the day. Let's take our arms outside of our bodies, lifting up as we inhale. Hands come together and they come into the heart chakra. And give gratitude towards your body for you being able to be here today and participate in whatever level you were able to participate. It's all to the good. Enjoy the rest of your day.